That's something else you've been very vocal about. The security situation is becoming very dire. Banditry, terrorism, kidnappings. I mean, last week, on the eve of the president's departure to the state visit in England, there was bomb blast in Maiduguri. Killed several scores, killings everywhere, kidnappings everywhere, especially in the north. Give us an update on how Northerners are reacting to this, and what is the consequence to the federal government, to President Tinubu.
Did President Tinubu ask you to send me to... No, Wale is... it's not only the Northerners. This country is in serious trouble. If anybody tells you security is better, he's either living in another country or he's lying, and lying to himself. We live in security. Boko Haram, this is the 17th year today. And banditry is the 12th, 13th year. In Maiduguri, over the last month, ISWAP, Boko Haram is like they have resurged, hit 9 cities, ransacked battalion, killed in a month. They killed seven commanders, including the brigadier general. And in the northwest, we see that La Kurawa during the fasting of Ramadan, they go into the mosque and spray people in the mosque and kill them. We're killing young soldiers and young officers who have given their life to protect us. The military is deployed all across the 36 states in this country, including Abuja. We've been fighting this for 16, 17 years. There is a limit to the elasticity of this military. No military can stand this. They are taking hits all across this country. Look at Boko Haram, what they did in Woro, in Kayama local government. Look at what they did in Borgu. Borgu, Niger State, slaughtering, killing people. Look at what they did in Eastern Sokoto. Look at what they did in Goshe when they went in Borno, killed the commander, battalion commander, decapitated people, and went into an IDP camp and killed. So we have questions that we must ask. I thought President Trump sent his troops, but all these villages they killed, even the battalion commanders, all Muslims. Where are the American troops that are in the Northeast? They are there. In the first place, nobody has told us, this government has not told us, why are the American troops here? What are they here to do? How long are they going to be here? What is their purpose? Everything is shrouded in secrecy. The people that should ask questions are the National Assembly. And I've said it again and again, our 10th National Assembly is the worst National Assembly we've had in this country. They don't ask questions, they do nothing, they're rubber stamp. There's nothing. Our friend in the United States, who is a congressman, called me after that mayhem in Borno State and said, Usman, are you okay? I said, I'm okay. So what's happening? I said, is it a continuation of the Christian genocide that we're seeing? Because that is the narrative the Riley Moss are selling there. I say, no, they're all Muslims, Muslim communities. And then he asks, what is the president doing? I say, no, our dear president is busy moving chessboards for his 2027 re-election. He says, don't you have Congress? I say, yeah, we have Congress, but their rubber stamp do nothing. And then he asked a very good question. He said, about the American forces, I had their boots on the ground now, they are there. I say, yeah. I say, yes, they are there. Nobody knows why they are there. They're not sharing intelligence with our people. And even if they are, it clearly is showing that the bad guys that have been routing our military bases have better intelligence than us. So what's the purpose of the American troops being there? It's exactly the same picture we had when they were in Niger Republic. where they had the largest drone base in Agadez. Exponential increase like we've been seeing. There has been an exponential increase in this violence since they arrived. We saw that in Burkina Faso, we saw that in Mali with the presence of these French troops. That was why they were kicked out. Nigerian military, you remember we kept talking that the president has not spoken to us. He doesn't talk, only Bayo Anoniga sent some sterile press releases. We're not worthy of being talked to by our president. But when he declared a state of emergency in River State, he addressed the nation. All right? He declared a state of emergency on security. He didn't talk to us. We expected, at least, after all this bloodshed, we expected to hear from the president. If he's too big to talk to us, how about our Minister of Defense? The much celebrated Minister of Defense that we clapped was going to make a difference. He went MIA. It's quiet. How about the Chief of Defense Staff? Nobody talked to us. Just like nobody talked to us when they threw that bomb into Sokoto, where we don't have ISIS. We have ISIS, that's where they are. And they've shown you where they are. So, nobody has talked to us. And so we kept talking, just like we keep talking, and they are listening. We are talking here, they are listening. The presidency, whatever, they are listening. We said, the president, we have 5 living heads of states. You've not consulted with any one of them. We have members of National Assembly. We have traditional rulers. We have clerics. We have elders in this country. You've not consulted with anybody. You allow the Americans into this country, don't talk to anybody. That was why you saw General T.Y. Danjuma. That was why you saw General Yakubu gone. And that was
president.
Yeah. And that was why he called the Sultan of Sokoto, just for the optics, to shut us up and say, yeah, we've done what you said we are not doing. But he's running this country like nobody exists. It's dangerous, Mr. President.
Still on this insecurity, Prof. Two schools of thought as to why it has prolonged and seems to get worse. It seems to be worsening rather than improving, regardless of the trillions and trillions of naira spent. Generals have become, stupendously wealthy. But two issues stand out. Number one, that it is state-sponsored. You remember this famous statement credited to General Sani Abacha at the party that if insurgency persists more than 24, 48 hours, I think, government has a hand in it. This one has gone on for 17 years. Second, that there is actually complicity by the military, some members of the armed forces, giving these criminals, intelligence. How do you respond to this?
Like you said, Nigeria fought the civil war. It lasted 30 months. Nigeria, when the civil war started, the troops were less than 10,000. At the end of the civil war, 30 months, we were up to over 250,000. They had to demobilize the soldiers. Here you are, 16 years. We've been screaming. And all the CDSs will come and say, we don't have boots on the ground, we're overstretched. Why haven't you trained people? So, there is not the political will to take care. We have said, Aisha Gumi and his delegates, we've gone into 9 forests in this country. We've met all of these bad guys. We've met people that no general, no politician has sat down and talked with to understand, and we brought back information back to the guys. Right? These are the people that are difficult for these guys to deal with, and they're all making excuses. Oh, the CDS is saying we need to fence the borders, for goodness sake. Right, so Turuji didn't come from Niger. These bad guys that caused mayhem in Borno State didn't come from Chad. Yeah, they are.
Locals.
Absolutely. And I said it again repeatedly, and I made presentation during General Irabo's tenure as the CDS to all the chiefs, service chiefs after we came to the forest, to give them the benefit of what we found in the forest, to tell them problems are local, solutions must be found locally. Banditry is not, it's a social problem that must be addressed. There's a definite role for the military, but there's not going to be a military solution. The military say, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it, all the money, all the money. 90% of the problem is non-military. You don't have enough soldiers to go and do this fighting. Where you need soldiers, where you need attack helicopters, where you need drones, where you need this, predominantly are these bad guys that are decapitating people in the north. So, while there is absolute, total lack of understanding of this conflict, it's not the military can do it. No, you need to understand the dynamics. They don't understand. Even during Buhari, they didn't want us to go. We went. The NSA came now, was talking all his big grammar, General Monguno, we are going to do kinetic, magnetic magic. That's what they keep talking. But the problems keep persistent. But President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I must say, he is the first commander-in-chief in this country that is not as interested in security as he's interested in the economy. He sees this insecurity as an irritant. And we see that cascading in his leadership. When the CDS was asked to deploy to Maiduguri, when he landed at the airport, what did he say? He sounded irritated and was saying the people of Borno and Yobe must take ownership. he clearly looked irritated. Why are we bothering? Why are you bothering us with all of this? You take care of your problem. Blaming the victims. When it is you that has gotten all the money. Give us the money that you got, that you're sleeping in Abuja. We'll take care of our problem. I have a lot of respect for the military, folks that fought in the military, folks that went into the military, went to the civil war, came back looking physically okay, but mentally not okay. Some passed away. The military, they're here to protect us. The leadership of the military need to do better. Political leadership of this country need to do better to take care of our people, because that is what they swore. There's a big problem with political will to do that. It's a huge problem with corruption within the politics, within the military, within the people. So unless we sit down and look at it holistically, a general goes into this, comes out very rich. I tell all my general friends and younger ones that, come and tell me, list the number of chiefs of army staff, chiefs, all the service chiefs, CDSs that serve this country. Tell me how many of them can go back home, to their ancestral home for the weekend.
Without security.
Without security. We have had a CDS that was killed.
Just on the outskirts.
That was killed in the farm. A CDS, 4-star general. He served this country. We have had in Katsina a general that was abducted. We've had generals that are killed. Security is everybody's responsibility. If you are there as the general with all the stars glittering, do the right thing and make sure things are done. Minimize all that corruption. You will get all the money, but you can't go back home. Just like all those governors. How many of them can go back home and stay as ordinary citizens? As our leaders past did. Shagaru went back home and stayed and passed his remaining years. Many of our leaders then went back home. Buhari could have stayed in Daura. He preferred that to Kaduna. How many of our leaders, governors and all that, military, whatever, with all the siren, could go back home after the siren stopped blaring? We don't take care of today, tomorrow will haunt us. And that's what we're seeing in Nigeria.